Hi everyone, I'm Mark. I'm the spiritual advisor and coach. Welcome to your weekly pick a card. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Pick the pile that you resonate with. Subscribe for your weekly pick a card. If you're looking for one-on-one services, check the description box below. Okay, this is pile number 1. First card I got for you is the Temple Path. The Temple Path. Now, I want to tell you something. At times we feel like we're alone, right? We feel like no one's around us, but guess what? The angels and guides, and loved ones, sending masters, soul keepers, gatekeepers. We have so many living souls on the other side. We have no idea how many are around us. But your angels are telling me to tell you, they want you to stay on your soul path. They want you to stay focused on your journey. Follow your path. And that's why they called it the Temple Path. The Temple Path. That means they want you to stay in the right direction, follow through where you need to go to. And how do you know this? Well, you get insights, within the mind, trying to say, okay, I'm supposed to do this now. Now I'm going to do this now. What else do I need to do? And you may see the vision of it, or you may feel it. Whatever your intuition is telling you, that's how you know to stay on that path. And I just wanted to show you something here. You see those lights right there? Those lights represent loved ones. It could be angels, guides, whatever. So you see the lights right there? If you do notice, there's green. If I'm correct on that, yeah, I'm correct. Green going up the steps. So, when you're going up the steps, that means, you're moving forward, you're walking up the steps. The green representing as you progress, believe it or not, things you've done in the past that didn't work out in your favor is being healed. So you're moving forward. That's why you're walking up the steps. And then the green represents about more like healing, from the past. And now you're moving forward. Now, dealing with the garden represents like a new paradise. You'll have a beautiful journey ahead. So not only are you being guided and directed, but what I wanted to let you know is another way of knowing that you're on the right direction. Go outside, get in contact with Mother Nature, and Mother Nature will guide you and direct you. You'll feel it. When the mind is more silent and you're more relaxed and you're more in your zone, you'll get more messages. When we have our minds all cluttered, that's the problem. That's why we're not getting messages. Because we're thinking too much here, we're not listening more within. So this card represents that we're staying on the path. You have loved ones around you. Get in contact with Mother Nature, and also knowing that you want you to follow this path so you can keep on moving forward in your spiritual journey, moving forward. All right, now, we're dealing with blossoming abundance. Blossoming abundance. That means you have the ability, or maybe I shouldn't say you have the ability, but you have the option of knowing abundance is coming your way. So it's interesting that, like I told you before, you want to stay on your journey, right? To move forward, so you keep on staying on the right path, so you keep on progressing. Well, let me tell you something, and this is really, really interesting, that abundance means it's not just a financial thing. It could be a spiritual thing of being awakened. It could be a big thing about buying a home, moving, again, that could be related about buying a bigger home or a home, buying a new car, something. So you have the abundance, blossoming abundance. You'll be growing in so many different ways. So I can't narrow it down just to one. But this is telling you that, well, you got to think positive. You got to manifest things, right? You can't just think negative. I'm not saying that you're thinking negative, but you want to think positive, of course. But knowing these doors are open for abundance. It could be, again, financially. It could be a love in your life. That's something big, to fall in love, right? It could be a move. It could be a nice trip. Whatever it is, it's in your card. It's telling you that the abundance is going to be blossoming. So doesn't this make sense to stay on your right path? You're being guided and directed. And from this, as you progress and you prosper, the abundance is there, right? So the abundance is there for so many different ways. So please keep that in mind. Oh, and if you notice here, you see the water, you can see a little shadow in there. You notice like how you can see the reflection. So, when you look into the water, sometimes there's a reflection too. And the reflection is really representing seeing things how they really could be for you. It's almost like when you're looking in the water, it's almost like looking in the moment of what could be. So water in spirituality anyway represents emotions. And when the water's calm, your emotions will be more calmer. And from that, because how hard you work, it could be from a job, for financial abundance, or you could be meditating a lot and something big will come from that. You'll have a spiritual awakening, or be more open, or feeling, or find the love. So this is a progress card, and this represents of blossoming. So opening, growing, moving forward, progressing, whatever's going on. So not only is it great to be on the right path and you're being guided, but also knowing the doors are going to open up for bigger things to happen if you continue on your spiritual path and do what you need to do, and blessings will occur. That's why blossoming and abundance came into place. So keep that in mind. So one's going right into the other. Now you're dealing with the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. So the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. What is sixth chakra? Well, you know that if you want to open up your sixth chakra, you could always call him Metatron. But the sixth chakra represents, they were telling me something before I even go on to it, that the different colors will represent the certain vibration that you need to heal to get the abundance. And that's what your angels just tell me right now. All right, so you're talking about there's yellow in here. That's the solar plexus. And then you're dealing with kind of like almost into the indigo, violet, kind of purple, indigo, violet. That's actually the sixth and seventh chakra. Okay, that could be open. So you'll become, and watch, you'll go right into the other card I was just going to show you. That's why they want me to back up a little bit. And the sixth chakra represents about being aware of the spiritual surroundings of you and your spiritual wisdom and your growth, but you'll be able to visually see it coming up. That's why the purple flowers are there. Kind of have a combination of purple, lighter than purple. So it's more like the indigo violet, kind of like put together, kind of in that way. It's like an offset purple, violet color. So they're saying that these chakras right here, the sixth chakra, the seventh chakra, right here how connected they are, you'll be more connected with the divine. So again, you'll be more spiritually open, and you'll be able to see things spiritually that you normally wasn't seen before. Of course, only when the abundance comes, that means you worked at it. All right. Now, let me go back to this one originally I was going to tell you about, that the sixth chakra is Archangel Metatron, right? This is, remember I just told you about the sixth chakra? Well, there we go. It goes right into that. It goes into Metatron. See, Metatron is right here again. Metatron will help you with the sixth chakra, to open up the sixth chakra. And how? Through energy exercises as well, because they want you to become not only earthbound aware, but also spiritual aware. That means they want you to know that there's more than existing than just on the earth. And they want you to know everything that surrounds you. I always say they want you to have, the angels want you to have that balance, because with that balance, everything gets put together and everything flows properly, right? In this card right here, if you do notice, look at the blue. And blue represents expansion. And expansion, openness. Remember I just told you spiritually openness? Okay, so now, look at this also. I just want to show you this. See that? Kind of like a purple color, kind of, right? Indigo violet. Here we go again with opening up. Not only the sixth chakra, of course, again, you call it Metatron, but the seventh chakra, get in contact with the divine. So you get in contact with the angels, like Angel Metatron. The sixth chakra, seventh chakra, you're dealing with God directly. But they're telling me to tell you is to work on those, to open those up, because they're blocked, and you really need to open them up, because they want you to have that full contact with, or close to full contact with spirit. So they want you to see the surroundings of it through the third eye, and they want you to make direct contact with spirit. So there's a lot of things going on, even in the spiritual aspect here. You know, dealing with, keep on flowing and keep on moving in the right direction. And then you're dealing with, well, what's the direction? The direction is what you're following, right? But in the direction that you're following, what are you supposed to do in the process of it? Well, we want to create a balance for ourselves. What kind of balance do we want to create for ourselves? Well, I think most of us will agree that we want financial abundance, right? We want a love in our life. We want all this stuff. And this is where the blossoming abundance will come. And all this will be manifested for you if you work on your spiritual journey. That means spiritually open yourself up. Well, then you'll be more spiritually open to spirit. And then that's where your spiritual awakening can come into place. Now, the abundance, of course, going on trips and all of that. That's another abundance of enjoying, a little bit more into the luxury kind of a thing. And also like falling in love. So, and I'm repeating this from before, so this way you could really absorb this. So as you follow your journey and do what you need to do, by opening up your different gifts and creating your balance, by working out all the different difficulties so that abundance can occur. See, you're on the path, you're working through your stuff, right? So this way you can have that full abundance and blessings. And then they want you to continually work on your awareness with spirit. So this is like a spiritual journey for you of staying on the right path and keep on growing, progressing so you can get full abundance and keep on being spiritually aware and being receptive, because the angels and guides are going to come forth and they're going to be communicating with you. But you want to work more on opening up that sixth chakra, because that's really, really, really important. Okay? Because when you do that, that would be awesome. Because let's put it this way, when you open that up, you'll have a different view of what's going on. That's why you saw the blue in the picture for expansion. And then you got that violet color, raising that vibration to a higher level. So you're open to spirit, and they want you to communicate and keep on working through it. because I always say they want you have direct communication with it. So this is not just, this is to expand, grow from the abundance card, but also going into have more awareness, be more receptive. And that's the spiritual awakening, of being really more receptive of everything's around you and knowing how to keep on dealing with your path. That was the first card. And then dealing with, keep on growing and evolving and expanding. And from doing that, that's where the blessings will keep on occurring, only if you believe in yourself, of course. And it's really, really important. So really think about that and really staying in tune with that, because it's the best way to do it. And that's it. And that's it. They tell me that messages for those cards. Oh yeah, and also, you guys, I'm always so blessed that you guys are here. Thank you. And anyone who hasn't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And best way to support me is to hit that like button. And by subscribing, you'll get weekly notifications, of course. And if you're looking for a one-on-one services, I would love to help you and be there by your side, of course. Check everything out in the description box below. Take care for now. All right, you guys, and here comes pile number 2. Contract. The angels are saying in the contract. So you want to be really careful what you sign, if any, because there's a possibility any kind of contracts, like looking for a new job, you may have to sign a contract, or you have your own business contract, or anything that you're going to sign. I mean, for some of you, it may not resonate right away with. It may not be happening for some of you. It could be. So, but just really be careful with any kind of contracts that if you're going to sign or to deal with, that they just want to become aware. So, see, if it's like this one woman, she has a blindfold on her because she's not seeing what's really going on. And you don't want to be oblivious when you sign papers. Or a contract between, believe it or not, it could be between you and your partner. You're making agreements about how we could get better involved in our relationship, by how we could work out things. So it's almost like an agreement. So you're not actually signing a paper, but you're actually saying, you know what, we've had a lot of quarrels, and guess what? We really need to work it out. And we have to agree to each other. I'll do this and you do that. You see what I mean? It's a different kind of contract. So in that case, it's kind of a good thing if you're trying to improve. You don't want to get the opposite way. It's like, like if you're married, you're going to get divorced, and you have to sign contracts, for divorce papers. It could swing in that way, but let's not put that energy in that way. I mean, there's an open door to that, but they're just saying anything with a contract, just to be really careful with. And there's many different options, like I mentioned to you, about job situation, buying a home is another one. So be aware of those two. Buying a car, house. So job, home, house you could be buying. So be aware of signing contracts and making sure everything's dotted, I's and T's. Dealing with, but I like about, they also were saying, for some of you maybe working through your relationships, and it's almost like an agreement. It's not like exactly a contract, but it's kind of an agreement, with it. Or they also said it also could be peace within yourself. You agree? I agree. It's like signing the thing. I agree that I will not do this to myself anymore. I will stand my ground. I will do things in the right way. I won't go beyond and do things to hurt myself, or I'm going to do things for myself. I never have time, but I'm going to be doing things for myself. I'm going to go out more with friends, or I may give myself more breaks. Something with agreement also, it could be also upon yourself. So keep that in mind. So it could be even within yourself, the contract. So you see how it could go in so many different ways. It's not just one way. It could be many ways. So the contract card is really, oh, yeah, and here's the thing right here. Notice like she's holding a scale, and the scale, I think everyone knows, we all know that the scale represents a balance of everything, making sure everything, I said before, make sure all the I's and T's are crossed, I's are dotted, make sure, I always say, whatever you're going into, whatever kind of agreement, making sure that it's fair, not only for you, but for the other person. And it could be anything like I just mentioned to you. So whatever it is, just make sure there's a balance, that it flows. So if you're going to sign something, you want to make sure that it's flowing, not only working for you, but for the other person too. So they'll definitely let me know to tell you that you want to create that balance. You want to make sure that everything is flowing and everything is agreed upon before you start signing papers. All right? So, and here's hostilities. Yeah. Through your life, we could have different hostilities dealing with situations. And this could go right into the contract card, and believe it or not, because let's put it this way. If you had an agreement with someone and they did this and you signed it and you didn't look at it, you're going to have some hostilities on that. Or, here's another thing. Have rage or resentment or guilt in your relationship. That means if you're fighting, you're disagreeing, you know what I mean? Yeah, be careful with that, because with this ascension energies of ours, we got to be careful, because sometimes it depends on, I don't do astrology, but it depends on your chart, that sometimes, if it's a lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, or whatever it is, can affect your sign, and then you can have hostilities toward that other person, like, how could they have done that to me? And this could be a love relationship going on here with some hostilities, or an ex trying to come back, or just to deal with turmoil in a relationship. So just be careful and be aware of relationships, or you are having some spats or fights more than normal, or a lot of disagreements, right? A lot of disagreements. Try to really work through that. And it's interesting here, because when I go back into the contract card, it's really coming about agreeing upon. So this is agreed upon. This goes more into a relationship. And this is where, see the guy right here, he's holding a sword. That means you want to stand in your honor. But also at the same time, but not out of rage. Even though the card says hostilities, but it's not out of rage. It's more about having, you're like the soldier, the power within you, but you don't want to create the hostilities. That means anything that needs to be worked out in a relationship. Oh, and they said this could deal with working at a job with your boss. You can have, or the coworker. It could be with your partner. Sometimes the hostilities could come from within yourself. So keep that in mind. So whoever you're connecting with, so watch for the connection between the two. So it depends on the situation. There could be some hostilities there. So really work it out. If it's, sometimes it could be responsibilities, like even on a job site, to agree what you're going to do, and then you didn't fulfill it. Well, your boss may not be too happy on that, okay? So whatever the disagreements are, make sure you make them that they are agreed upon, both parties. Also, like loving yourself too. Remember that. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you have those hostilities and you're holding that back, you got to let that go. Because I'm telling you, that will show. Because let's put it this way. What happens if you want to connect with someone, like even meeting friends, like spiritual friends, if you have all these hostilities built up, and this could be from an ex, it could be just from within your own emotional stuff that you're holding on to. You need to let it go, because these hostilities will build within, and people can feel the vibrations. So if you're trying to meet like new spiritual friends or meet someone, you got to release this. And this is an agreement about loving yourself, and also connecting with people and really knowing how to work things out without arguments and disagreements. And that's where the contract card comes in. But I agree to do this, I agree to do that. Except you're not literally signing the contract in this situation dealing with a relationship, but it could be with work. You made an agreement, you would do this at work, and now you're annoyed because your boss said this, or you didn't agree. So there's a lot of agreements here and contracts going on here, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. So keep that in mind. But also notice to breathe and relax and stay calm and don't go out of whack. And here, I just want to show you, see how there's orange in here? That's the second chakra, orange. And that represents to become more creative. That means be more creative in your thinking. How do I improve my relationship? How do I get along with my boss? How do I love myself more? Right? How do I make more connection? Even if I have my own business, how can I make a connection with other people so I could get more leads and I could progress and move forward? So instead of having that hate with you and feeling all blocked up from the hostility card, it's almost like it's okay to put the sword down, but still stay in your honor. And whatever your hostilities are, or any problems are, you really want to work it out. And sometimes it's within you or other people combined with you, and this is where you need to calm the atmosphere and agree upon whatever you're going to agree upon and let it flow forward. Okay, this is the community card I have here. The community card. This is about connection, with people. Again, this could be dealing with business. All right, so dealing with business, you're dealing with people. Or you're making new friends in the neighborhood. Or you're reconnecting with old friends. So this is a connection card, the community card. And this could serve in so many different ways. A business, it could be about looking for more leads, right? More opportunities to get more customers. Or it could be dealing with connection, getting together in spiritual groups and all of that. But you want to agree upon, certain things that you're going to get a connection. See, here comes back with the contract card. And you want to make sure that you're connecting on an emotional level, right? You don't feel off at all, and you don't want to get hostile. And here's the second card. Now going into the community card, that one of the women. Okay, first of all, they have women in the picture. The women get more emotional, so it's more about red chakra. The red first chakra is the red. It's about feeling independent. It's feeling secure. And also feels grounded. That's the red one. That's the first chakra. So you got then the woman, and the woman itself are more emotional. So it's almost like ground the emotions, calm down the emotions, calm it down. And you want purification in your life. Total purification. That's why the other two women are wearing white. See, these little colors in the pictures represent things. So keep that in mind. Now, dealing with relating, understanding, and knowing how people are, because you want to get along with them without feeling the anger or rage, and really you're willing to work with. So there's a strong connection between the contract card, being agreed upon, whatever it is. Dealing with a hostility card is keeping your emotions under control and balanced, and everything will come into place, and both parties will get along. That goes back into the contract card about agreements, but then you're dealing with the community card. It's making these connections with the people so everything flows better, but you're progressing and moving forward. And this could be, believe it or not, this could be a business thing. dealing with the community card, or it could be a social thing. So it could be a business thing or a social thing. So it depends which way it's going. It's which way. So you'll know. If all of a sudden you're meeting old friends or you're connecting with new friends, that's where this is going with the energies it's telling you about. Agree upon and work things out and come together. So this is about a connection, the card, like I mentioned to you before. But also, it could be dealing with business or it could be dealing with, and they said, also with relationships, even among friends. So there's so many different ways to swing it, but listen to your heart and see where it's going. And you say, this is about, I got to communicate better with my friends. We have to agree upon each other. We can't fight, and that goes into the hostility card. And we want to get along. And even it could be about your own bosses too. So keep all this in mind about agreeing upon things, handling each situation by stabilizing your emotions and also connecting with people and getting along and just making that connection and enjoying the experience. Again, this could be anything from job. It could be from making new friends. Working with people at a job, making new friends, going into spiritual groups. Also, that's by making new friends. So just keep in mind about with the contract card, hostility card, and the community card, how they all are going one into the other. So watch the stages of that. Okay, and I always love to see you guys on here. And the best way to support me is to hit that like button, subscribe for your weekly picker card. And if you're looking for one-on-one services, just check the description box below. And I'll help you further. Okay? Take care for now. All right, this is pile number 3. Goddess of the Moon. This is Goddess of the Moon. This is really getting contact with nature. And the moon, I think most of us know, it depends or if it's a full moon or not, it could be dealing with our emotional stuff, right? So we go on and get more contact with Mother Nature. And of course, literally, you can move the moon. But what you can do is you can confront the moon by going outside. And when you're feeling certain emotions, it's okay to confront the moon by looking up in the air and dealing with whatever emotions you're feeling with to process it and to work it out. Sometimes people will go outside to make contact with Mother Nature. That's pretty much why you go outside, but also to have fun, of course. But there's emotional stuff that comes from the moon that you will be feeling, and this is the best time to really work through your emotional stuff, right? You want to work through the emotional stuff of whatever you're feeling. And the best way to do it, and this is the main reason why this card came up, because it's the best time to get in contact with Mother Nature and to work through your emotions. And you do it from just being outside, whatever you're feeling, or feelings at all, and it could be coming through. You talk through it, process it, and let it go. Almost like you're pushing it back into the universe and say, okay, I'm done with it. I completed it. I no longer want it in my life. I allow you to release it. I allow it to go. I allow it to go. So it's almost like you're releasing stuff when you're going outside by contacting, dealing with the moon, because the moon represents, goes into emotional stuff of knowing how to pull it away from you and out of you, and I had enough. So this is about dealing with emotions by contacting Mother Nature first, and to deal with the outside and other surroundings, because not only are you dealing with the emotional side, but you're also dealing with the mental side, the physical side, and the spiritual side. And Mother Nature, believe it or not, is giving you energy to help you heal. So whatever kind of turbulence that you had in your life. And also, I just want you to notice another thing here. You see how it's glowing, the moon? The reason why, because they want you to be illuminated. They want you to like almost like glow. That means almost like becoming more enlightened souls. So now look what's going on here. You're dealing with the emotions coming from the moon, right? Full moon, a lot of people get emotional, right? So we can't deny that. But now we're learning on how to process it. And one way to process it is saying, the angels are saying to go outside and work through it. When you're feeling certain emotions, go outside, work through it, and release it to the moon and the atmosphere. That's why you're grabbing the moon. You're releasing it. Like, here, I'm making contact with you, moon, and I want to release it. So you're releasing it out into the universe, to deal with that. But it's glowing. It's because they want you to become more illuminated. That means they want you to feel more enlightened. Okay, and that goes, again, represents, dealing with the emotions, more enlightened, more bliss, more happier, kind of a thing. And they call it goddess of the moon because you're connected to the moon, like I told you. And goddess represents like the female entity of doing it. That doesn't mean males don't have this as well, but this is the female side of the male. We all have males and female sides. Yeah, and this and getting in contact with the female side in you, that emotional side, knowing how to work through things, and also, so this way you can really progress and become more enlightened. Because if you let go like all karmic stuff or fears, doubts, and worries, you'll illuminate more. Because why? Because you're releasing all this karmic stuff, all this energetic weight that's holding you down from moving forward. All right? So keep that in mind, because you do not want to hold on to stuff that is not helping you progress. And Mother Nature knows how to raise her vibrations up. So when you're releasing this emotional stuff, she's giving you recharge, rebalance, that you could feel you have so much more energy than you did before. Okay, the man holding a coin. Man holding a coin. Now, this could mean different things here, but it depends on what you're going to resonate with it. It could represent you're going to meet a man with a lot of money. For a woman or a man, it depends on who your sex preference is, who you want to be with. But also, it deals with you yourself can have the abundance too. So money is in the cards here, for you to have it, but you need to work for it, of course. So when you're holding that coin, you're holding the financial or the money situation. Let's call it that. There's a way of handling it. Oh, they're saying of knowing how to make money. Okay, they're saying make money and knowing how to invest it. So when you're holding that coin, money is power. It's not always greed. It depends on how people use the money, and I'm not here to judge that. But money is there for investments, okay, or abundance, making more money, but progress for you financially. So look at this. You're dealing with emotional stuff to rebalance it, like I told you on the first card. So once you deal with the emotional stuff, you become more enlightened. From being enlightened, okay, now you're dealing with financial abundance can occur if you work toward your goal, like if you have your own business or you meet someone who has money, you're dating or something. I'm not saying that you're using their money, okay, but it's more like that could come into the works, because when you become more enlightened and you track things, like even abundance, you never know. You may meet someone who has money. Or you make money yourself, because now you're enlightened and bliss and you're manifesting all these beautiful things. So all of a sudden now you could also be manifesting abundance. That means money could be coming your way, because it's in the cards here. It's a possibility that you could get a lot of money if you work through the emotions first and then you go into the coin thing. And once you go into the coin thing, that means investment, stock, or whatever, where you can make money for the future. So there's a spiritual side that's coming through with the emotions, but then there's a financial side of living and earthwise and having the abundance that you always desire and what you want. Is there work involved in that? Well, yeah, because if you're trying to run a business, or you're trying, or you have extra money that you could also invest, this is also about that also. So it depends on the area what's guiding you. That's the area where that's where they're saying, your angels are saying different things, because it depends where you're at, where you could be guided into that direction. But the main thing here is to become more an awareness of knowing that when you work through the emotional stuff and you release all the karmic stuff, you become more enlightened soul. Dealing with the coin, it's dealing with more about abundance. That means even for financial growth. So you could buy a house and a car that you always a dream. Because it's really interesting, because when you work through stuff and everything just flows, because you trust it and you don't have doubts on it, not only does it flow better, but everything will come together for you. So isn't that interesting? Not only will it flow better, but money will come to you. So they're saying that one door about becoming that loving and your bliss, going into, it's like something that you're working hard to manifest it, can go into the abundance thing. See how you become more light and pure, and then you go into something. So it's almost like a blessing about becoming more enlightened into financial abundance. So one's going right into the other. I know it's a little tedious here, but it is going back and forward. And I got here, this is the World card. The World card. That means here, and you know what's really interesting is this is the World card. This is the Moon card, and the World card, world. That means the world, like the Earth, that you're surrounded by, and the Moon is part of the world. Okay, and this represents being in contact with Mother Earth, but also at the same time knowing how to reestablish yourself. And once you reestablish yourself, now you're dealing with the whole world, and the whole world represents is you have many doors that are opening up, and here you are, right? Here, and it doesn't matter if it's a male or female, it just represents a soul. So you could say, well, this is a man and I'm a woman. Why are you saying this is for me? Because it really doesn't matter. It just shows the entity. It shows the person themselves. It's a person. It doesn't matter if it's a male or female. It really matters that, it's you. They're identifying, and they're telling you that the world is surrounded by you, and there's many doors that will open up for you. So be aware of, you have the power of really making beautiful things in your life, and you're not limited. That means you can move more forward in progressing. But what I love about it is, I can just tell you right now, I love it because this card is all blue. You notice that? And the blue represents a really opening up. And don't miss any opportunities that you can move more forward. So look at this. I mean, if I look at this whole thing, they would tell me something, the angels. If you look at the Earth, even though it looks like, to me, I thought it was the moon, but it's really the Earth itself. And when you look at the Earth, you see that sparkle. Well, yeah, that's still the Earth. Okay. When you look at the Earth itself, you see the light coming up. It's like the planet's being like reorganized. So it's like having a brighter future. Everything needs to progress and move forward. And that's what the Earth is doing. The Earth is being like reborn again. Talk about the new heaven and earth. Well, this represents, and what's really interesting of this whole thing is becoming more enlightened soul. All doors are open up because you're all about is alignment and bliss. And wonderful, beautiful things can happen. is abundance, and even in the finances. So when you really connect all these together, it's really saying is you need a balance of everything, and everything will come into place. But we need to do our inner work to change our outer world and all this beautiful stuff. And also knowing you are not limited. So keep that in mind. You are not limited. That means you have the potential to do anything you want to do. It depends if it's a career, it's finding the love in your life. It deals with doing things that you normally couldn't do. Even if financial can open that door. So that's why they're showing the earth in front of you. You're looking at the earth and say, that's where I live. But when I say in the world, that means it's really surrounded everything around you, and you have the opportunity for so many different doorways. I just can't go into all the doorways because there's so many different doorways for you could walk into. But it's your choice to have this prosperity in the mind, body, and spirit. But you got to work through this. But I always like to say, like I would say before, you got to do your inner work to change your outer world. And like on earth, as we already know, there's so many distractions. So we do not want to have so many distractions. We need to push those distractions away so we can have a better future. And the only way we could do that is we don't allow, we do not allow distractions interfere with us. So keep on progressing and moving forward, of knowing the doors are open, and you just have to believe in yourself, and knowing you can have a prosperous future, and knowing that everything needs to be done first for things to really start opening up. That doesn't mean you have to wait for everything 100% all the time. It just means that you should do things in order. And even though other doors will probably open anyway as you're doing it, because the universe sees how you're progressing. And thank you guys so much for being here. It means so much from the bottom of my heart. The best way to support me is to hit that like button and subscribe for my weekly pick-a-card. And if you're looking for one-on-one services, just check the description box below. And also, please keep in mind, don't be hard on yourself. Be loving to yourself. I'm here if you need my help. And enjoy one day at a time, because this one's telling you right here about how you have the world, the doors are open for you. You just want to enjoy your life and put things together, and things will flow. Until next time, I'm Marc, the Spiritual Advisor from Marc Healing Arts, and I'll see you soon on here on my YouTube, on my channel. Thank you.